I was talking to a woman, and her and her husband had abortion. They didn't feel like it was the right time, and then their second kid, they had a miscarriage, and they were pregnant their third time, and they were worried that they were going to have another miscarriage because they felt like the first miscarriage was God, punishing them for the abortion. And I just spoke right into it. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, God doesn't punish. And, and I prayed and prophesied over them and the baby and everything. And they had a beautiful baby. And, it's so hard to see people go through that, kind of make sense of what they think they've heard from God or been taught about God, and then their experience personally with a miscarriage or an abortion, all the emotions that go along with that. And I feel the same way. Like, I just want truth to be told.
Yeah, and that particular circumstance with miscarriages, for some reason, in my 34 years of ministry, has seemed to be the most common area where people will go, well, I think God's paying me back for my promiscuity, the way I lived. That's why, and they're talking about something they did, 15, 20 years ago, and now they're married and, having a baby, and the baby's born, with a problem, or they had a miscarriage, and, they're broken thinking God's paying them back, If you don't mind, I got this email from someone. I didn't even, as far as I know, I've never actually maybe met them. I got this last Thursday, just real recently, and talking about the grace, and this is what this couple sent me. He says, my wife and I travel for my job. We were in Valdosta for 2 months. We found your church right away. We both received the revelation of God's grace on July the 7th when we listened to your message, which is awesome. Wow, we were blown away. I listen to Dan Moeller all the time, but Dan's message doesn't go after religion like your message. I am at a loss for words on how to say thank you for being bold and standing up for this message. I will carry it for the rest of my life, and I believe everyone around me will be transformed. We will be blessed for the rest of our lives. We have a brother-in-law that is all about confessing his sins every day. We gave him your book that I bought while I was there, and he has been blown away. He will receive this revelation soon. We just want to say thank you. We wish you would move to Texas where we could continue to attend your church. Be blessed, Pastor Dale, and stay bold. The message you carry is truth, and don't allow the enemy to tell you any different. Your message made a light go off in my heart that God is good, like literally all the time. And this is a guy named Kelsey, and right now he's living in Amarillo, Texas. And, I get stuff like that fairly often, not every day, but I'd say once a week at least, on the average, somebody would write in. People I don't even know that's never even attended, our church, but they've listened to it. They listen to the message, found us on Facebook, or they go to my website or whatever. And
what's your website?
It's Dale Young, DELLYOUNG.net. And there's just a lot of articles there on grace, on the sin issue, all these kind of things, and basically I just write blogs from people's questions they send me. Essentially, whether I say that or not on the blog, but they'll send me questions, and a lot of times, even if I'm writing a blog, I'm dealing with something I've already dealt with maybe in the past. The recent one I just did this past week, I put the link in, to answer the question of 1 John 1:9. That always seems to be one that comes up, about confessing sin. And so I just refer them to that where they can, go and find answers. But just like that there, the grace message, and this guy here's going into the ministry. He told me in another email, and and now he's armed with the message of God's grace, and to them it was just what the words they're using, not my words, a revelation. Mm-hmm. Just changed their life. It changed their view, and they were only here for 2 months, and I don't think I ever shook their hand or said hi, and I didn't even realize that they were there, in the church, so it just shows the power. That's what Paul said. He said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. That means good news. for it is the power of God, and, that's where the real power lies, to change people's view, change people's lives. And, and I'm just so thankful for it. I wish I had this awakening, revelation, whatever you want to call it, when I was 21 instead of, 45 or 51, whatever I was, but I'm thankful for it now.
Yeah.